Hello, this is JC, the Fantasy Football Explorer. And sometimes when you're out adventuring, you have to face the elements and Mother Nature. Could be a hurricane, typhoon, or cyclone. But the show must go on. Let's get into it for week 3. Yeah, sometimes when you're out adventuring in the wilderness, you just got to rely on the old faithful. What works? We'll just go candlelight and get into week 3. It's still too early to be very firm about the trends and what's happening. You want to wait till after the first 4 weeks, then take a look at some trends and see what's going on. You know, the first week, Devontae Smith put up a goose egg, and in week 3, he was the number 1 wide receiver. So let's not get carried away and jump to conclusions and spend all of our fab right away. One thing you might want to consider, if you haven't already, is to play a wide receiver in your flex. And it looks like the running backs are having a difficult time, with the exception of a few. The running backs are having trouble getting traction, and that the 2 running backs, that's what you have to fill out, and then your flex is what you want, probably a wide receiver. There are some players that it's safe that you can put them on the bench. I wouldn't drop them, but put them on your bench if you have a better option. If some of these players are kind of cold and you'd like to give them a week for them to show you something, a week for them to warm up, the following wide receivers I would bench but not drop: Brandon Cooks, DJ Moore, Allen Robinson, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and Darnell Mooney. Now, especially for someone like Darnell Mooney, who's ice cold, he's still the number 1 wide receiver. They're not going to rely on Equanimus St. Brown to lead them to the playoffs. It's Darnell Mooney still the number 1. They need to get him on track. Now, some quarterbacks that you could probably bench, and I would: Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Russell Wilson. Especially in Denver, it looks like they don't know what they're doing on offense in Denver. And I wouldn't drop them, put them on the bench, and assess the situation as it goes forward. Now, as JC, the Fantasy Football Explorer, I often want to have an opinion on things, but some questions and mysteries of the universe are just unfathomable. Mystery wrapped in an enigma. And there's where we have Justin Jefferson, which I don't know what's going on with him. Don't drop him. You may still even have to start him. I mean, he was talked about being the number 1 wide receiver for the year, but he's just had a couple of ice cold games. The second is Joe Mixon. The offense should be good. Maybe they've had trouble warming up, and maybe they weren't ready for the season to start. But again, I don't know how you bench Justin Jefferson and Joe Mixon. You just got to ride or die with them. Again, one of the mysteries that are just unexplained. So after week 4, we might get into the details more and see what's going on. Crazy things can happen the first 4 weeks. Some teams aren't ready to play. So don't jump to conclusions. Don't panic. And I'll see you next week.